Oh,
Hello
hello
there!
You may be going, Gnome King, why the hell are you making another Gnome review? And all I have to say is, I don't really know. So, if you don't know what Rimworld is, then you can suck it. Now that all the salty libtards are gone, Rimworld is a colony management game based in guess what? A Rimworld that is also in an apocalyptic state. Your goal is to not lose your colony, which is not as easy as you think it is. You pick your situation from Crash Landed, Lost Tribe, The Rich Explorer, and Naked Brutality. Each of these change the number of colonists, items, and research tier. Then you get on with your definite failure. First off, we'll be talking about the graphics. Now, just like I said in Don't Star review, there isn't much to talk about. The style reminds me a lot of Prison Architect, but that is probably because both games didn't have the best budget during development. The UI is pretty well set up. It is pretty easy to tell what each type is for. For example, Restrict allows you to restrict them to certain areas or change their schedule, which goes under the category of Restrict. One thing that it does well with the UI is when more important stuff happen. It is extremely important, like Blight or a raid, then it will pause the game and appear in the middle of your screen, while the minor stuff like Caravan has left the map to where it appears on the top left of your screen. The soundtrack is great. It is pretty rustic, while at points having that kind of sci-fi theme. Like, the menu music starts with a sci-fi theme. Other than that, there isn't really anything notable about the soundtrack, because it is a soundtrack. Now, creating a good game is like building a spaceship. A bunch of steps, and you can do it in the game. You first pick one of the 4 game modes that I talked about earlier, then pick your AI storyteller, difficulty mode, the world settings, then where you want your colony, then the colonist. Even though this may take a bit, it is great how in control you are in the beginning. A lot of games like this don't give you any options, yet this game lets you have so much control, which is pretty good. The AI storytellers in this game are great. Some people see them as another difficulty option, but they're not. They just change up what, when, and how big an event is. Cassandra Classic has the events be really simple, they come to common amount, and at a steady increase throughout the game. Phoebe Chillax has it to where there is a good amount of time between each event, which means there will be a bunch of time between raids, cargo pod drops, etc., etc. The last one is Randy Random. Everything comes at random times and amounts. All this option really does is change the pace of the game, but it is still a nice addition. The events in this game are pretty basic. There are raids, which do what you would think raids do. Sieges, which will sometimes have them build stuff like mortars. Manhunter packs, which spawns in a bunch of manhunter animals. Cargo pod drops, which drops cargo pods with items in them. Escape pod survivor, which puts a guy on the map that you can rescue. And multiple other events that affect your colony's environment. The events in this game would be really boring if they weren't combined with the AI storyteller, which makes them pretty good, mainly based on the fact of how the AI storyteller is a work of genius. Now we will talk about the characters. The characters in this game have been done in a way that I have not seen before. Each character has a backstory, health problems, personal needs, a mood, thoughts on certain events, skills they are good at, are interested in, or are extremely excited to do, social traits, and the social status with each person they interact with. First off, we will be talking about characters' backstory. The backstory for the characters are, in my opinion, the least interesting part about the characters, but it does help a bit by giving you an idea of what skills they are good or bad at. Now, the mood system is wonderful. Each character has personal preferences, such as they need a better room than everyone else, they want things to be bland and boring, stuff like that. The mood is affected on even some mundane stuff like ate without table, darkness, slept in the cold or heat. But then there are certain traits that can change stuff like that. Let's say if they are a night owl, they want to sleep during the day and work during the night. If a person's mood gets to a certain point, they will have a mental break, which means they will do one of the different things. The most common would be food binge, hide in room, and sad wander. There are more severe ones like tantrum and berserk. The thing about this is that anyone can have a mental break anytime. There is a way less of a chance when their mood is high, but it's still possible. The system may seem a bit unfair, but it keeps you on your toes and makes you constantly try to please everyone, which keeps the game engaging while binge playing the game. Binge playing. Is that a term? Who cares? The skill system in this game is pretty good. Each character has a certain level in each skill, which will tell you how good they are at the skill. Each character can also have an interest or an extreme interest in the skill. As they do jobs involving the skill increases in level over time. The higher the level, the better they are at the jobs. If they are interested in the job, they get a learning boost. And if they are extremely interested, they will get a really good boost. Some traits make it to where they can't do a certain job anymore. This system is one of the better setup systems, even though it is extremely basic. This system alone somehow ties with every other system in the game while not messing it up. The health system in this game is not very noticeable, but it is still wonderful. When I open up the health tab for a character, I don't really look where the stuff is. I just see if it is bleeding, a bruise, or if it is patched up. Even though I don't pay attention, usually it is very intricate. You get hit in certain areas of the body going from your left leg to right eye. The system is definitely the least acknowledged system in the game, but is one of the more intricate and well set up ones. The last notable thing about characters is their social status. If there are two characters that have interacted at all, then they will have opinions of each other. Some characters are friends with people, some are enemies, and others are neutral. There are certain traits like misogynist that will automatically lower the opinion of female characters, for example. The social system is not very interesting when you're not playing the game. When playing the game, it is sometimes important, but it usually isn't at all. I would personally prefer if they had increased its detail. For example, if certain people liked and hated certain things about another character, and not just have a low opinion. But it is what it is. The combat system in this game is wonderful. It is a well-executed inclusion into this genre because most colony management games do not have a big combat system or just have one that is complete and utter crap. It had the basic aim and shoot with a chance to hit or miss. The game spices this up with a melee system, special armor, and equipables. The melee combat in this game is pretty well set up. You damage based on chance, weapon, and if they are downed or not. In melee combat, a character has the chance to block or dodge, but they have less of a chance if their melee skill is lower. The only equipable items in the game are the belts. There is a shield belt, which will put a shield around the character, having a good chance to block bullets, but it also goes both ways, meaning that it will also block bullets of the guy wearing the belt, making this item only good for melee users. The other belt is a smoke pop belt. When you are attacked, it pops, making a cloud of smoke, greatly decreasing everyone's accuracy. The belts are not exactly the most useful, and personally I don't use them that often, but they are still a nice addition into this gorgeous combat system. The progression system in this game is entirely reliant on what you do. You could either sit around and smoke that fat joint, or you could actually progress the game. Advancement is mostly you asking yourself, what skills do the colonists have? What do you research first? What do you prioritize first? If you don't attempt to progress, then the game will get harder, and you won't be able to keep up. It is pretty well balanced with a good amount of time to prepare yourself, but not enough time to sit around and do nothing. The interaction between your colony and AI colonies is wonderful. When you start a game, there are hostile and neutral colonies. Neutral colonies will have caravans come through that you can trade with and allow you to send caravans to trade with them. Depending on how you react to them changes their opinion of you. If you do a good job, you increase your opinion, and when you reach a certain point, you can call them for assistance against raids. The lower your opinion gets, the more often they send raids at you. This system is very valuable throughout the entire game because of how it can harm and benefit you. If you do a good job and have a high opinion, you will have a better chance against huge waves. Now, this is the end of the Rimworld review. I give this game a definite 9 out of 10. I give it this because of some great things that they have missed out by not adding into this game. This game is near perfect in every way, but does have some slight flaws, which can be luckily fixed with mods. I recommend you buy it. I recommend you get your friend to buy it. I recommend you do anything wrong with this game. It is a truly wonderful game that deserves loads of praise and recognition for how good of a game it truly is. Well, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I'm going to try and find a game that I have problems with so I can take the shit out of it, but I will probably have the next review be a game I love a lot. If you like this review, then go check out my Don't Starve review, which is this video, but is about Don't Starve and has hardly any background footage. But like I was saying, if you like this video, go check out my other videos. I will be posting more reviews eventually. Like the video, comment down below any games you'd like me to review, and subscribe to my channel. Even though my channel may not have a continuous upload rate of creative masterpieces, I still make some good stuff. My reviews are good, I think. And my dumb little short videos are alright sometimes. They are usually ironically ironic, which means that I have a bad video for the sake of being bad, which doesn't make sense, but it still sometimes works. Well, that is all I have to say. See you guys in the next video.